We get a lot of people writing to us on GCN saying that they've got into the sport reasonably late and do they have any chance of turning professional? So what we thought we would ask the pro riders here in the Dubai Tour today is how old they were when they first started racing and how well they did on that first race. So how old were you when you did your first ever race?
I was 11.
What was your result?
There was 92. It was 11. So yeah.
What was your result?
I was leading. I crashed. Ended up in the bushes. Came back out. Finished third.
I think I was 9 years old. 9 years.
What was the result?
First place.
I think I was 7 years old. It was a small race, and yes. But in the first part of my cycling career was really just for fun.
Do you remember what position you finished in your first race?
Yes, I won that race.
Oh, you won it?
I won.
Just for fun, but you won.
I won 3 races consecutive, and then that's it.
Yeah. That's what you call talent.
I think 14 or 15. But it was for no official race, just a race.
You had numbers on your back?
I had numbers on my back, yeah.
And what was the result?
I was fourth.
I think 13.
And what was the result?
For sure I not win, I remember, because I was smaller than now. But it was already 10 years ago, so the time passed fast.
My dad was a mountain biker. He was a pro rider. And basically I started mountain biking when I was maybe 12, 13 years old. And with 16, 17 I went to road racing.
Adam, how old were you when you did your first race?
I think I was 5 at Manchester, outside the velodrome in the car park, just sprinting around with Ben Swift and a couple of other guys that are still riding now.
Result?
Yep, won. First place.
My first race in Mallorca in 2005.
And how old were you in 2005?
20 years old.
20?
My first race, actually I won the first race in Arezzo in my town, 1990.
How old were you then? ¿Cuántos años hace?
10 years old.
And how old were you when you did your first ever race?
I did a 10-mile time trial when I was 13. 28 minutes and 1 second.
And where did that put you in your category?
Well, sorry? I think I was the only kid, so I won it.
First and last?
Yeah, but you could say that.
15 years old. I started quite late if I compare to the other guys.
And what was your result?
I think I abandoned.
One?
No, I abandoned.
Oh, you abandoned? How old were you when you did your first ever race?
18.
18, quite late. What was the result?
I was 6th in a 60-kilometer race with normal running shoes on and an old down shoe shifting bike of my dad's that I took out of the storage room. 7 years old and finished 2nd.
On the road or on the track?
On the road. The first on the track I think is around 12, 13. Yeah, a little bit late, but 10.
And how did you get on?
I was on a BMX on a track race, so I think I was midfield, maybe 5th.
How old were you when you did your first ever race?
I was 15, yes.
And what was the result?
Not so good. I don't remember the result, but it was nothing special. Still now it's not special.
How old were you when you did your first ever race?
6 years old.
6 years old? And what was the result?
I was 3rd out of 3.
Last?
Yeah.
How old were you when you did your first ever race?
Oh, I think I was 16, maybe 15. I definitely was 15 because I entered the wrong category. So yeah, I didn't know the whole racing age thing. So yeah, I was 15, I think. Yeah.
What was your result?
I sat on the front for the entire race, thinking I was winning, And then the last lap, everyone passed me, and I was like, that sucks. Like,
So some very varied ages for the pros here in the Dubai Tour in terms of when they actually started racing. So if you are coming up to 18, 19 or 20, you've just got into cycling, don't give up because you might still make it to a professional level. Right, if you haven't subscribed to GCN, please do so by clicking on the globe. If you've liked this Ask the Pros, give it a thumbs up just down below. And if you want to see another one, we've got one here where we ask them the best and the worst things about being a pro cyclist. And we've actually also got a video down here which gives some advice for young cyclists.